Hello, everybody. My name is Greg, and this is my colleague David. And I'd like
Hi,
to
Greg.
introduce my guest. Yeah, hi, David. I'd like to introduce my guest, uh, Daniel Tamas. Am I right with pronunciation of your last name?
Awesome. Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, Greg.
Great.
Hi,
And yeah, I just
Daniel.
he's a WAM CEO. Yeah. And we have quite a lot of questions to you, so I think we can start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and first questions. The first question can be about you, actually. That can be something like an introduction, and you can say some words about yourself and how did you get into crypto. That's pretty interesting.
Uh, okay, this is a long story. So, my gaming career started in 2007 with the first gaming company that I founded. It was called Idea Studios, and it is still called like that. We started with no money, with no knowledge. My background back then was just web design. And slowly we started building our websites and building games. And after about 2.5 years of hard work and creating partnerships with companies all over the world, we started growing our portfolio of games and our websites. And the traffic grew, and we grew the operation. Where at a point we had 70 people with a web studio and a mobile game studio, and we were publishing games. And in total, so far, I think we managed to make about 7,000 plus 7,000 games, all web-based, because that was our focus on web publishing. And we reached 1.7 billion people with more than 3.8 billion sessions.
Wow.
So in terms of viral games, we know our stuff. And fast forward to 2016, when my co-founder Alex and I joined forces in several successful projects on the Romanian market. We started tinkering with the idea of building something better regarding games and game publishing. And I always had a vision that the web is the platform that will actually come after App Store and Google Play start to bottle and choke developers. And this is what is happening right now. In order to get to the top rankings, you need a big budget, and most indie developers find it very hard to monetize and to be profitable on a sustained in a sustained manner for let's say a longer period of time. So the web is something open. You do not need a gatekeeper. There are so many tools that are at your disposal. And when I saw that Google especially was pushing towards progressive web apps, something clicked, and I said, okay, this is the next thing that is going to come, because apps will make no sense once web apps are fully functional. And we started tinkering with the business model and with the platforms. And fast forward to 2019, we actually had the first alpha version of WAM. I'm going to stop here with the presentation because I do have a hunch you have more questions, so I'm not going to skip over them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we have quite a lot. So probably that's time for the first one from our Twitter, right, David?
Yeah. Tim Block would like to know, build and develop WAM.app.
Well, as I said, we started imagining how can you publish games better using HTML5 technology. This makes game development cheaper, faster, and you can reach a wide range of devices, even mid-tier or low-tier devices. Whereas creating native apps, and especially native games, if you want to make them really compatible with devices, you have a lot of headaches. And we said, okay, we know how to build this. I have almost a 20-year expertise in building web products, websites, gaming, publishing technology, and all sorts of tools that were required for the previous businesses in order to run properly, from ads to publishing to all sorts of tools that made the games smaller and be able to run on let's say medium CPU devices. And we said, okay, progressive web apps, we know how to build them. We know how to build a better experience. There is nothing on the market that is focusing on hyper-casual games in the browser in portrait mode. This is, let's say, our thesis. We want the content that we publish to be only in portrait mode, because usually people who play casual and hyper-casual games do not want to invest a lot of time in doing from this to this with their phone. They just want to play with one hand. Maybe you're commuting, maybe you're sitting on the couch, or in a place where one hand is required. So these were the ideas that we had in mind when we decided to build WAM. And the main purpose was just to give a better gaming experience to people who do not want to buy expensive equipment in order to do so.
Mm-hmm. And what is your... Go ahead, Greg.
No. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, you were speaking about the budget, right? That's just the crucial thing for developers and so on. So how can you compete with such competitors if they have more budget, like big budget when you have?
Well, it's as follows. So when you're publishing a native game, you need to go through several processes, including getting your Apple developer license, and you need like a Mac in order to develop for iOS. You also need, let's say 5 years ago, developers for both iOS and Android were pretty much expensive. And this is just the first tier of expenses that you were required to put up. Then you need the game designer, game artists, you need testers. So there's a suite of things that you need in order to publish a game, and these do not at all assure your success. Plus, you need a very competent marketing team or a marketing partnership. Now, this is where the budget comes in. If you want to compete with the big companies like, I don't know, I'm just not gonna advertise them for free here. You know, the big ones.
Right.
If you want to compete with them, you need a marketing funnel that is really, really fine-tuned, and you know all the costs that you have along the way with trackers, with media buying, testing, with all the hidden costs of a marketing campaign. Now, in order to have a very efficient marketing funnel, you need to spend a lot of money to get there, in order to get to the relevant numbers and to get to the relevant stats. Usually, indie game developers kind of run out of money when they get to that point. And that pushes them to go to a publisher and make a lot of concessions, like, hey, I'm going to give you 70% of my revenue, just publish this game and make it work, so we make a bit of profit. And that kind of pissed me off, because it made no sense. The web is free. You can build HTML5 a lot easier than you can build native games. And now with a technology that is called WebAssembly, we can actually build native-like games in the browser. It's really mind-blowing, and we've already tested a few of them. We have them on the roadmap to be published, and it's going to be a game changer. Like, nobody in their right mind would like to develop except for the web. I'm betting everything on this. And so this is where we come to fix this, right? So there's a problem in how developers get to be published and get to make profits. So we said, okay, what is the cheaper, easier, faster version for this? Well, if you build it on HTML5 and use the technologies that are currently available, you can get the same result, or 85%, 95% of that, in a much shorter amount of time. And then when it comes to efficient marketing, it's a lot cheaper to do it on the web than with installs. So that lowers the necessary budget for marketing. I hope I answered the question regarding the budgets and why is it more attractive. And we'll get to the crypto part.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. Yeah. Dave?
And your main audience, and would like to point out?
Yeah. We started out with 2 regions, Indonesia and Brazil. Both of these regions are projected to grow about 5 times in the next 5 years. And especially the internet penetration and mobile smartphone usage. Brazil in particular is a very avid consumer of hyper-casual games. So that is a market that we target specifically. And this is the reason why we have the Portuguese translation on WAM at this point. So we have English and Portuguese, and this is the reason why we have it. And both of these countries have very, let's say, demanding users, and they like to play the games, and they bring a lot of good feedback for us. And they also look at their phone bill, and they look at the internet connection, and they look at a lot of things that most of the Western countries do not look at. So we said, okay, besides the fact that we know how to build a platform that runs on web and also native app, so we have covered all markets, we know how to build it small enough in order for our users to actually enjoy playing. Of course, there are a lot of tweaks needed, because as you get the CPU power more restricted, or for instance, if you run on your battery low setting, there are more challenges. But we're also working on improving that experience so the user actually enjoys a premium, fun, entertaining experience on WAM, even though they're on web, for instance, on Safari or Chrome.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to say that we have some guests, and they are welcome to ask different kind of questions. And I want to show you one. This one, for example. Yeah, could you tell us something about it, your token?
Okay, so I'm gonna get to the part where how we ended up in crypto, and then we'll get to the part. So in 2019, we launched the first alpha version. In 2020, we raised the first pre-seed round, traditional pre-seed round of $350,000 at a $3 million pre-money valuation from a very respected businessman here in our city, who is now listed on a stock exchange. And we said, okay, back then we were still a native app. I mean, a native in the sense of traditional web 2.0. And we wanted to build just an entertainment app where we monetize through ads, in-app purchases, and monthly subscriptions in order to get some perks. We launched the app in a private beta in February last year. We grew our user base to 2.5 million users in about 45 days. And the way we did it was with our affiliate program. Then we started getting exposure and community requests. And a lot of them were, why aren't you on crypto? And we had a crypto in mind for quite a while. I've long dabbled with crypto and with blockchain. But and we actually had a coin before this in the platform called Tapcoin, with a purpose in mind of at a point jumping on blockchain. And we actually had the trademark for it. So we were prepared for this, but we did not set a date. And what happened was that in September last year, we realized two things. First, we're not going to raise a traditional seed round that we needed in order to push the product, because the investors that we were talking with did not see the value in the product that we were making. And plus, maybe I was not, I don't know, inspired enough to actually tell the story in order to make it exciting and for the people to see the opportunity. So this might be my fault. And second of all, we had more and more people asking this. So we said, okay, let's jump in, because over the summer, we had many talks with a lot of VCs, and one big company, big world company, I cannot brag about it right now, and they actually decided to invest in us, but they decided to invest in us in some terms that were not necessarily in our favor. And we decided, okay, man, crypto's here. We are all excited. Our CTO, Vlad, has more expertise in building crypto products. He actually built an exchange, and he knew all about how things work. I also participated in some crypto projects before, like having a Monero browser, Monero miner in the browser when the Pirate Bay came out with that stuff. So it was fun. It was more of a, let's say what this thing can do. So we said, okay, we have to be in crypto. I don't know what it takes. I don't know how we do it. We had no connections, no knowledge. And we just started accumulating knowledge and connections. And soon we realized this was the best decision that we ever made, because the product market fit soon came into place. When we announced that we were switching to crypto, our in-game, in-platform time spent by our users grew from 15 minutes to the maximum of 1 hour and 30 minutes. Right now is an average of about 55 minutes per day per user, and we have about 10K users in app, and 3K users in app per day and 10K users on the web. And this is without being on the blockchain, because the play to earn part will be in the 15th of April. So we're marching towards that goal.
So in 1 month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And you mentioned some of the milestones. And what are the plans for 2022 when it comes down to WAM Coin?
Well, it just popped out that I did not answer fully about the usefulness of the token in real life. And I'll go to that.
Oh, go ahead.
And then answer the question. So coming back to the token, we imagine, okay, what else can we push the platform towards when it comes to using crypto as a means and as a technology? And we soon realized that WAM is not a game, is not a platform, it's a multi-sided platform where we can aspire to be a DAO, where actors in the market can actually interact with each other in a permissionless way, in a trusted environment, just by using the blockchain technology. Just imagine, like, players come to play in order to win crypto and NFTs and the WAM token. You have marketers that will be able to promote the tournaments in order to make money. So each user that comes through a promotion link will actually make revenue for the marketer that promoted that tournament. Developers will be able to publish games on WAM through our developer program. We already have about 7 developers in a private beta that we're working with in order to test everything out and to see what their feedback is and how they want to do things. And also community members will be able to actually purchase the tokenized version of those games. So basically, we're going to make NFTs out of those games.
Mm-hmm.
And with WAMCom, you will be able to buy those NFTs, and those NFTs will actually generate revenue from the tournaments that are made on the games that you just purchased as NFTs. The discussion is quite long. We have quite a list of things that we want to do with the NFT technology, including bringing even more utility to the WAM token. Plus, right now we have a liquidity pool and we have staking program regarding like specific things you can do with the WAM token, and more to come. But one thing we want to mention is that compared to other products, other crypto products, we're a business to consumer app that focuses on using the blockchain technology. Mm-hmm. We're not developing our own blockchain. It makes no sense for us. We can be on several blockchains at once. You just deposit the WAM token, and then you can play freely in the app. And when you withdraw wherever you want. This is the vision. Now, coming back to the second question about the roadmap that you said, right now we're in the first quarter, and the first quarter will culminate with the launch of the play to earn functionality, where we integrate a blockchain. In our naivety, if you will, we imagine that we're going to be able to launch this in January. And I'm saying this because we were excited. So we made some bold plans like, hey, we're going to do it in January. And when January came, we decided to actually focus more on the security side, because we knew and we saw that if we do not secure the platform enough, when play to earn comes and we are going to use blockchain, if users get cheated or hacked by playing the tournaments, our trust and the app itself will suffer. So we focused on that.
Yeah, sound actually. I want to show you a great comment like that. I think that's about your token. Yeah, we sell and buy lambo.
This is a question, tip, or answer?
Both. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, look. Actually, I'm an old lady here. I'm an old lady, like I'm 85 or so. So I just have no idea about all of this gaming stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you different kind of questions. So the next one is from our user. So he asks you, what is unique about WAM compared to other play-to-earn platforms? But my question is like, what play-to-earn platforms are? So what are you talking about? What is it?
Well, I cannot answer the second question because I have no idea. I'm just focused on WAM right now. But I mean something similar to WAM. When we started the concept, it was like unique on the market. And why I'm saying this, having spoken with about 37 VCs last year, they were all intrigued by the model and the combination between a very hyper casual, high burn, fast paced game with a tournament mindset where you actually had to come back over and over and over in order to win your previous score. And that transformed the hyper casual into something more mid-core, where you invest a bit more time into getting in the charts. Now, other play to earn usually focus on NFTs, like you earn NFTs and you do something with NFTs, and then you have all sorts of logic in behind the game itself. We're a bit different. We're a platform, so we can publish many games. We have 4 walls: amateur, semi-pro, pro, and legend, and you progress once you win each category and you accumulate a number of points. And the reason why I'm saying there's a big difference between a game and a platform is that we're not limited to, let's say, a single game design or a concept. And thirdly, when you participate in a tournament, so the business model is pretty simple, actually. In order to participate in tournaments, you need a WAM token, right? You pay a fee, which is, let's say, in the amateur wall, maybe the equivalent of a $5 worth of WAM. This will be stable. No matter what the price is, the price of WAM will just be updated when you enter the tournament. And you can win, let's say, $500 worth of WAM. But in order to do it, you need to actually be good at the game. So we wanted to take out any chance-based type of activity, because that is not our ballpark. We do not care about gambling. We do not care about chance. And we also wanted to focus on what are our values. So when we're talking about building a product, who do we build this for? We build it for people to have fun. And we build it for people to have fun with friends, no matter where they are on the globe, right? So especially the pandemic showed us that people, even if times are tough, if they find a way to connect and have fun with friends all across the world, they will do it. And I'm pretty sure you guys did it, I did it, and it's a pretty natural thing. And we said, okay, for instance, I know that Axie Infinity right now, a lot of the community is pissed that, and kudos for Axie Infinity, that is the game changer game, and that they opened the road to a lot of things. So I have the maximum respect for them. But I've seen the community is pissed that right now bots are playing instead of people. And this is what we want to actually achieve: people to play against people, because that makes the game fun. Okay, you're going to play to earn money. But you're going to play to earn money with friends, with people from different cultures, different time zones, different countries. Why not have fun and just focus on being good at something that actually can bring value to you? So this was the mindset behind this. This is actually coming back to the values that I said. We're building products that have to be beautiful, easy to use, and bring value to people, to actual real people.
And how would you describe the community itself, the WAM community?
I would say this is a bit early to tell, but one thing that I've noticed, and all the team was pretty hyped about that, is once you get to actually experience WAM, you're hooked, because it's fun. Think of it like this. Let me ask you guys a question, and maybe your community can answer. Why hasn't crypto taken off yet at a massive scale right now? So it's still a handful of enthusiasts, but it's not mainstream. Why do you think that is?
My idea is because of volatility. So that's the problem. The first thing is volatility, and the second one, I think, is that the governments are like competitors for crypto. That's pretty much like that.
Okay, David.
Yeah. I mean the competition between fiat and crypto. So that's what I mean.
Okay.
I think a lot of people believe that crypto is boring and it's not fun and it's complicated. And I think there's not enough, ways to learn about crypto.
Okay, so you guys just answered my question or what I had in mind backwards. We plan to be the spark that ignites massive crypto adoption, and why that is. Well, think of it like this. What is the only method proven throughout history for humans to learn anything, no matter how complicated that thing is? And I'm going to share the response. It's through games and through play. When you make something fun, you forget about the complexity. And the second thing is, we actually want to take the complexity out of the slang. When you say blockchain, when you say crypto, my mother does not understand, but she understands playing a game in order to get some money, right? And we want to take that out. We want to just don't think about blockchain. Blockchain is something that enables a lot of things, but it is not required for a like a very sophisticated user to come and teach you. If you're just focused on getting the actual value, fun and money, you can do it on WAM. And this was the purpose, to simplify the user interaction and the user experience with the blockchain itself, with the technology, with the possibilities. Governments in this case are, let's say, okay, when you speak about Bitcoin, yeah, but when you speak about a utility, a real utility of a certain token which relies on a certain technology, then the users actually find it fun. I mean, if you go to an amusement park and you get those the coins, like plastic coins, when you use them at different machines, you do not have to know how those were made, how is the machine processing them. And we believe that up to this point, the conversation was exactly that. We made this coin with this technology and the machine processes them in a way. So this conversation, this phrasing puts people away, like, oh, this is too complicated, I'm going to lose my funds, and so on.
So,
okay. Now,
Daniel, you were saying, go ahead, Greg.
I just wanted to move to the next question. Pretty simple, yeah. Just what I need to do to start gaming. What I need to do to start the game.
Well, you can do two things. Either you go on the browser at WAM.app, or you search for WAM.app or WAM in Google Play or Apple App Store. And you just download the app and you start playing.
Easy like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's so simple. And be careful. So this is a warning to your community. Be careful because it's addicting. But fun.
Addictive, yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, Daniel, and how many games are available as of now? Because I did download the app, I did see a few, but how many games do you offer, and how many games do you think you'll be adding in the this year, let's say, or next year?
Okay, so this is actually related to how big the community is and how many players there are. So right now there are 35 games organized in different tournaments that start over at different times. And now the question is, why 35? Well, there are about 300 tournaments each month on these 35 games, which repeat and start over. And we saw the following thing. You saw that the UI is pretty friendly, TikTok-like. You just swipe left and right, up and down. Okay. But it's a different exploring experience because not like TikTok, when you find a game that you like and you see the video, you just press enter and you experience the game. You don't scroll over and over and over. And that led us to a problem. If we have too many games but too few users to actually discover them, we're going to have a lot of games that do not get played. So what we have to do is first grow the user base and then calculate the exposure on each game. And when we get to a certain threshold, we increase the number of games. So in this way, we give a fair chance to all games to get explored. And once we get to a certain level of users, we're going to implement, what's it called? A customized feed. So something that is really specific to your preferences. And this way, we will be able to accommodate a lot more games. And that is when we plan to open up the actual game developer program where you publish the game and it gets played.
All right.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice question about partnerships. Probably you can comment on that. So.
Okay, so I see that. Yeah. Every project should involve a partnership relationship in order to be faster in development. Can you tell us the benefits of your partnership relationship? I understand where this question comes from, and we kind of realized why is it being asked. And we have a specific, let's say, we're a bit different. Think of it like this. We're a team of experienced individuals, more than 15 years in game development, publishing, monetization, partnerships, software development, more than 20 years, business development, HR, sales, legal. So we're a team of experienced people who started this journey as a traditional company, and the vision for us is to build the next company that's going to be a unicorn in GameFi, and we're going to take over the world with what we are building with the help of the community. This means that compared to a project, a crypto project, we actually have a company vision, and we plan to build on that. Now, given that we know what we have to do, we already hired more developers, and we pretty much know how to bring the users. We have our own affiliate program that we're going to re-enable once everything is in place. Partnership-wise, we are less dependent on them than with than with crypto projects that, from what we've seen, jump from one cycle to the other. So we're in the top 1%, I would say, of crypto projects that actually have, you can see my face. I'm a real person. I have a real beard that annoys my wife, and glasses. And we have the expertise. We were nominated this year. It's the second year where we were nominated at the Best Innovation category at Mobile Games Awards. So this is a big achievement for us. And what we have to do in order to make the project successful is focus on the product, focus on the community, and just stick to the roadmap, because we know we have a good, proven, market-tested business model. And we're going to get to that part in a bit. I'm not sure if you guys expected me to speak that much, but if I get a mic, I speak. So sorry about that.
That's good. That's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
So Daniel, I did look at the product roadmap, and one thing I wanted to ask you about, one of the things, is artificial intelligence. So you mentioned how users will be able to create their own hyper-casual games, and it sounds incredible. So could you tell us more about that?
Oh man, I'm so excited about that part, because we first experimented with this piece of technology last year. So if you know GitHub, you know that I'm skipping right now the name. So Microsoft bought GitHub, and they made an AI that allows you to build code, and they trained this AI on the existing GitHub code, which I don't know, maybe billions of lines of code. And we experimented with the following. We just used our voice in order to dictate some specific actions to the AI, to the model, in order for us to get a desired result. And the result actually was mind-blowing. And then we came up with the idea, hey, we can actually give this to our community to create their own games just by using a phone and just by dictating what you want as a game. Hey, I would like, I don't know, Daniel's head
by
on a
dictating?
game that I want to. Yeah, like it's a natural language processing, and the vision is for everyone to be a creator on the platform and to make money with their creations. And we are focused on a specific type of creation, which is the games themselves. And the purpose of this is to have fun and make money at the same time. And the possibilities are endless, because somebody wrote here in the comments that the gaming industry is bigger than movies and music combined, 60+ billion, and it will grow. The metaverse and everything that we're pushing, Web3 games, hyper-casual Web3 publishing, it will just grow this market cap. And having a tool that allows you to create games and actually allows you to invite people on your games in order for you to make money is mind-blowing, revolutionizing, and we want to be part of the revolution that has started last year.
Awesome.
Okay, so there's another question here that asks me what is a hyper-casual game, and what is the mechanism and the structure of a hyper-casual game? Okay, this is actually a good question, because it's related to the philosophy. everything has to be simple. A hyper casual game is something that you let me actually, it's easier to show you guys than to actually describe what this is. So if you download WAM and you just look, this is a hyper casual game. A very simple game that is focused on the mechanics and the score, not on the graphics. It's easy to load, easy to learn. It does not require any time investment on anybody's side compared to a casual or a mid-core game where you have to learn the mechanics and the story. Here you just dive right in. And the mechanism is pretty simple, mostly are physics-based, even if it's a 2D or a 3D game. And the purpose is, most of these games are endless engines where you just keep going in order to accumulate score, and everything is reliant on your skill and focus on that game. So it's a pretty simple Flappy Bird. If everybody knows Flappy Bird, if you're not, I'm old, and it's ages ago. It's a Flappy Bird type of action.
Perfect. Yeah. I offer you just to come back to economics as we quick word, and that's a question from Nicole. Can you please share us an overview of token economics? How much is the circulation supply, and how many tokens reserved for team, and how much liquidity will be locked for what period of time?
Okay, so one thing that is easier for me to do right now is to actually direct you guys to go to WAM.app. We have a tokenomics there that would do a lot more justice to the topic than I would. The team has reserved 14%, approximately 14%. We have a 2-year cliff and then a 24-month vesting, if I'm not mistaken, but I have a lot of numbers in my head right now, so you guys can better check that out. We had a 10% unlock at TGE for initial investors, 4 months cliff, and then 3.75% for the next 2 years. We aim to have our inflation as low as possible in the first year, and we have 44% or 40% out of a total of 1 billion WAM tokens. 40% is for community rewards, and these will be unlocked for the next 10 years. So the purpose would be for us, the community that we're building is pretty much the driver that will be the WAM company in the future. And we're aware of that. And for this, the community actually has to have the option to gain a lot.
And do you plan to bridge onto other blockchains?
We already have a bridge. We already have a bridge with Elrond. And today, actually, it was a very important day because we went live on MyRDEX. And we're pretty excited about that as well. And we're pretty much chain agnostic. Now, if you're a chain junkie or a technologist or a true believer, you will say in your head, yeah, but there's only one actual chain that will remain, regardless. So imagine that you can deposit a lot of coins on Binance on whatever chain that you want, right? You will be able to do that on WAM as well, because the purpose for us would be to access as many communities as possible in order for them to get the utility they are after while using their token. So for us to have bridges into more blockchains is actually a part of the business model and the roadmap, because it just gives us a lot more reach, and it actually connects people. Bridges are connecting points, not only on blockchains, but also between people and places. So we're actually building bridges for people to access other people.
Thank you.
And Daniel, you mentioned that back in January, you decided to focus on security, right? So how would you describe the results, or what do you have to do to make sure that the community and the system and the platform are safe?
Okay, so there are two parts. The smart contract part, which we audited with Certic, and we wanted to make sure we don't get hacked. I know a lot of people want to hack Web3. If hackers look at this, look, man, I know it's fun, but let's take Web3 off the ground and you guys can hack later. And coming back to the security part, so we had the smart contract and then the servers, because part of the app is centralized. Even if we plan to be a DAO, part of it is centralized because we're a commercial app. So we did several penetration testing tests on the server in order to find the vulnerabilities that existed since before we jumped into crypto, because there were no stakes in hacking WAM when there was no value. So there was no point in ultra securing servers. But now we had to focus on that in order to eliminate cheaters and hackers and to make the tournaments as fair as possible.
Thank you.
Okay. That's another question about games. That's from Alex Hawk. He's asking you about ranking. So as far as he understands, and as far as I understood, when you're playing games, so you can get rank or you just can improve your level. So what is it for, and what are the advantages and benefits for users?
So one of the main drawbacks of hyper casual games on native apps right now is that they're siloed. If you download a hyper casual game, you have to create a profile, and all the stats and the friends that you make and all the progression that you have just remain in that game. If you download a new game, everything gets resetted. So we said, okay, this is stupid. This is not how things are supposed to work. So we made the user account at the platform level, and every winning is accounted for at the profile level, which is at the account. So when you participate in tournaments, you can participate in 10 tournaments at once, and you just go from one to the other in order to improve the score. If you win, those stats get saved at the account level. Now, this gives you progression from amateur to semi-pro wall to pro and legend. And why do you need this progression? Because once you progress into the different walls, the tournament stakes get higher. So the fees get higher in order to enter the tournament, but you can also win a lot more WAM coin. Secondly, when we're going to have the marketplace, we're going to have a differentiation between what items can you buy and what you can do in the marketplace based on the level you achieved at that point. And one important aspect regarding WAM is that you cannot pay to play, you cannot pay to progress. There are revivals inside the tournament, but there are only 3 revivals. If you get past 3, you get reset to 0.
Can you play games without entering a tournament? That's a question from our chat.
At this moment, no. We had this question and we're still debating how we can do it better. Last year, before we were on crypto, we did have this possibility. But at the same time, we started figuring out that if we let people get past certain, let's say, validation gates, we're opening vulnerabilities. But we're still exploring how we can do it in a way that is fair to everybody.
And another really great question from a user. So how can you convert user experience to WAM token? Is it possible?
This is the plan. As I said, we were naive enough at the beginning in October, November to say, okay, we're going to launch it in January and then we can convert. And when I say naive is that we did not account the amount of work that is necessary in order for everything to happen properly. Coming back to the question, yes, and it will be available once we launch the play to earn, the app, WAM app on the blockchain, because that is the only moment in time when we can actually do it. Now, there were several concerns regarding inflation, dumping, and a lot of users started actually writing to us what would be the best way for us to convert based on their opinion. And we take that into consideration when we will convert.
And I see that NFT marketplace is mentioned as well. So how different is that point of development from others?
Well, I'm not pretty sure I understand the question. Can you please help me out?
And back to you mentioned the NFT marketplace, right? So how will that work together with the WAM.app ecosystem?
Okay. So there are several things that can be NFTs. NFTs are not just JPEGs. They're a piece of technology that is mind-blowing from my perspective. And it actually, NFTs bring utility to tokens. This is what I'm sensing. And we will have two things. NFT wall. What does that mean? You will be able to enter the tournaments that we publish there by having a special NFT in your wallet. And you can also participate in tournaments that give NFTs as prizes. You will also be able to actually log in with an NFT. You will be able to purchase your nickname, your handle as an NFT, so you have an exclusive right on WAM on that. You will also be able to use NFTs inside games. One of the ideas that we were experimenting with was to jinx your opponent. So if you're on the first place and I want to mess up your score, or I want to penalize somehow, I'm just going to buy an NFT or take it from someone else by challenging them. So this is another tip that I'm giving right now. And I'm going to use it on you. If I see you're in the first place, I'm just going to give you that card just to make you make a mistake in the next round that you play or something like that. So there are several ideas that we have. Also avatars as NFTs. And coming back to what I first said, games as NFTs. So this is the most important thing that we see is the tokenization of games and the ability of an owner to make revenue if they hold it in their wallet.
Neat.
Yeah. Here's an interesting question about your focus. So what are you focusing on right now? Markets or anything like that?
We're focusing on launching the play to earn and giving the best possible experience to our users. Coming back to how we started, we're a B2C app, business to consumer, and our main focus is the user that comes on WAM, becomes a community member, and enjoys and plays on WAM. So this is the main focus. And this is a bit different from crypto projects that promise to do and deliver things in the future, because they need the investors and they need the partnerships, but we actually need the customers. We need the players that come in, see the value, have fun, and start spending more time on WAM. And investors will come naturally, because if you're an investor, if you're a crypto investor right now, and you judge for yourself, what are other projects saying they will do compared to WAM that has already done a lot of the things that they can be experienced today? And based on this, you can decide if it's worthwhile investing in WAM. And by the way, coming back to the business model, because this is important, we aim to be a profitable company out of the operations of giving access to tournaments based on fees. So the way this works and how we will achieve this is, first, we will, based on the fees that are paid, 10% come to the company as revenue. And we can decide what to do with another 10%. So the first idea in the first 6 months, but it's still subject to debate, we're going to burn 10% out of each fee that is paid to enter a tournament. Just burn it away in order to increase the token value. We also have the revival mechanism inside the game, where you pay a small amount of WAM in order to continue from where you left off if you died on a level. And we also have the fees that we will charge in the NFT marketplace. And also the NFTs will be able to be bought with WAM tokens. The NFTs that game developers will... Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Neil, you mentioned the metaverse. So how would you define the metaverse? And do you think that space, one of the new regions, so to speak, for WAM, as in like integrating, hypothetically speaking?
I see ourselves as being in the middle between Web 2.0 and Web 3.0, where you have this metaverse. So we're using Web 3 technology and mindset, but at the same time, were not exactly immersive. And actually, this is the philosophy that we want to maintain. Hyper casual. It's something that you do not need to immerse yourself in. If you want to, right now, if you guys, Greg, might be playing on WAM right now, and I would not even know it. So you do not have to be immersed, right? You do not have to, you don't need goggles, do not need 3D. So this is our space. This is what we actually want to dominate. This piece of entertainment, we want to actually own it, be the top dog, and just give everybody the experience that they're waiting. And when you think of WAM, you think instantly like, oh, cool tournaments, I make money, it's easy to play on my phone.
So essentially Web 2.5.
Yeah, like 3D and 2D, and you have the 2.5D. Yeah, all right. I would say that.
And what do you think about that? That NFTs is just that's our evolution. That's our future of evolution. Do you believe in it? And what about metaverse?
That's bold.
NFTs is the next species evolution. I would very much like Dublon to expand on this just a bit, so I don't go wild goose chasing in my head regarding what exactly that he meant or she meant.
Okay.
Well, coming back, and maybe he will write. In terms of technology, what an NFT can do, it is pretty much amazing. I mean, this is something that can enable DAOs to actually function. And it's not just about a piece of art. It's not just about an in-game item. It's a key that unlocks the future of basically digital economy, digital ownership. It enables people to get out of poverty just by being able to hold them in a very cheap wallet and to transfer them at will and to buy and sell from all over the world. NFTs are I would say the future of companies. They are the future of governments. NFTs is honestly, I would agree with that. I would agree with is the next species evolution because it's a format, it's a technology, a piece of technology that enables things that were not possible before.
What about metaverse?
The metaverse itself, I have mixed feelings, honestly. I have mixed feelings, but I'm old, so maybe the young people in the room would say, "Oh, the old guy is about not liking metaverse." Look, guys, I'm old. You should be grateful I was able enough and capable enough to understand what an NFT is. So I'm grateful. I know I am. Metaverse wise, the promise is huge. And if you're a technologist and if you like the digital world, it's amazing. I mean, I like to play games. I like to play RPGs. I don't know who you guys play Skyrim. That is my type of game. And I like to be, when I play that, I like to be immersed in that world. But I like to be immersed in that world myself at arm's length, like at this distance. So when I'm thinking about a metaverse, I'm thinking about 3D goggles and stuff. Not a fan of that. But again, I'm old, so
No, that's
thank you.
That's a good point.
Thank you. Just want to show the comment.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, thank you for the great interview, actually. And as you know, so we just need to reward 3 questions. So you can choose 3 best ones. You can do it right now or just postpone it. Just as you want. Yeah, just 3 best questions.
From here on the right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's one question. WAM platform is backed by Legion Ventures, which is established in Romania. So how is it going now with Legion Ventures? Tell us the fundraising and WAM platform's early strategies from Legion Ventures. Okay. So we were incubated by Legion Ventures, which is a community crypto fund, the biggest in Romania right now. With their help, we managed to set up the strategy for our fundraising. And by the way, we managed to raise $2.7 million in December last year. and we were oversubscribed about 6 times. So we had about plus 10 million US dollars on the table, but we did not need more. And we did not want to sell more tokens because that meant a lot of inflation. And we are not in the hype game. We're not in the short-term game. We wanted to have a healthy token and for it to be a very huge opportunity for everyone who actually understands our vision and wants to tag along from an early stage. And they helped us with just the right connections and with the right slang. We had to learn a lot of things, and one of them was to do business on Telegram, which was a pain at first. Again, I'm old, so all these things just take into consideration that I'm old. And but it was fun. It was fun. We learned a lot, and we made huge amounts of progress in the past 6 months. Successfully launched the token on Gate. Now we did the MyR integration and bridge. We're going to have more surprises in the weeks to come. We actually launched an outdoor campaign in our city, a full city, let's say, takeover, but that's not the right word I would use in the current context, political context. Yeah, and you will be able to see it on our YouTube page.
Okay.
We made a video with a process and with the banners, and everybody was pretty excited about that. And yeah, these are the things that started with Legion Ventures and grew quite a bit.
Yeah, we just need to check that. Yeah. And as for questions, actually, you can choose 3 ones from all the questions which were asked during the interview. So you probably remember them. So you don't need to double check or something.
Can you repeat that, because it got cut off?
I mean, like, you can choose any 3 questions from this interview. Any 3 questions which were asked.
So I see here, do we possibly to get passive income by staking your token? Yes. And how the circulation % of your pool reward? Any detail and explanation about this? So if you go to our website, you will see there's a button for staking, and you will have access to both staking options. But what we are excited about is what I just mentioned. Getting passive revenue out of the tokenized games. So basically the game NFTs. That is we believe it's the next level of revenue share we can get using NFTs. Another question that I see here. What is the strongest points to compete with other games to play to win? Yeah. And what is the most fascinating thing about this game to attract millions of users to the metaverse? So these are 2 combined questions regarding what we just talked. The strongest points are easy to use, fun to play, quick tournaments that you do not need to learn anything about, and you can play with friends no matter where they are in the world. And the 5th one that I did not mention is asynchronous multiplayer. What does that mean? When a tournament is live, it is live for a certain amount of time, like 1, 2, 3 days, 7 days, maybe 30 days, the bigger ones. And in this time, you can enter and exit the tournament after you pay the initial fee as many times as you want, because it will be for free. And you can continuously try to beat your previous score in order to progress. Now, if you have friends in Romania like myself, and if you have friends in Ukraine, and if you have friends in Africa and in Asia right now that all want to participate in the same tournament, they will all be able to do it. And what does that give us? It gives us the ability to play together and have fun together, even if we are not online at the same time. And now most games require people to be connected at the same time if you want to have fun. So this is how we see things should be very relaxed, very natural, and to be accessible to everyone. And I'm going to take one more question because I think I'm at the 3rd one.
Please do.
Let me see. I answered about the burning part. What is my focus? Let me see.
No, there's actually one more question. The signature question. Yeah. Greg?
Actually, we have. Yeah, that's our traditional one. The question is, what would you do if you had a superpower in the crypto world?
Tricky one.
What would I do if I had a superpower in the crypto world?
Yeah.
Very specific.
I'm torn. I'm torn right now between being funny and being practical. So, just like Elon, having superpowers can mean responsibility or having fun. So I'm torn right now. But I'm gonna, if I would have a superpower, I would just use it to get Elon's attention to put his monkey on WAM and play a SpaceX flight game in order to finance the research.
That's
so this
smart,
is one thing I would do.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me here. Thank you to all the community that was kind enough to ask and participate. I'm looking forward in working together more and just having everyone enjoying WAM as a product, because this is what we're about at the end of the day. We built WAM for people to have fun and get value back.
Thank you, Daniel.
So true. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, David. And thank you to all your community.
Next time.
Thank you so much. See you next time. Yeah. Bye-bye.